Greetings, you beautiful listeners, and we've had the season finale of Romance of the Ship Kingdoms, and now it's time for something a little different. These are going to be some, I guess we could call them some tabletop shorts, because this is the epilogue for a few characters. Today we'll be joining in with Figs and the Seer. Well, and this is a rare one because we won't be following my lead, the constructions. This is all mainly up to the player of where this goes for the epilogue. I have no idea how this will end. I'll just be throwing in a few small things, like how this is going to begin, and a little bit towards the middle. But ultimately the end of this epilogue will all depend on the players themselves. So we will come in now to where Figs. It's actually, we're going to say it's been about a good couple years since the falling of the evil god Tharizdun happened, and you've actually given birth to a very beautiful little baby girl.
Twins, actually.
Oh, excellent. Two beautiful pair of twins. And you decided you didn't want to live in the cluster, you reside in wild space. But for right now, you're having a internal debate with your less than desirable self. It's right now where you two have decided to meet in your mental interpretation. You see the lady, she's sitting there, her hair is disheveled, she's not even wearing the typical outfit you would expect of the Lady of Pain. She's just wearing a simple white shirt and sweatpants. Figs, we have to talk.
About you going into the clone body like I've been trying to tell you for years now?
It's not going to work. I've tried. Do you realize how unstable that thing is? Last time I went into it, it blew up like a balloon and it almost exploded from my powers. The best I can do is to make it be a proxy pseudo-image, which is what I've been doing now. If we're going to keep it up like that, I will give it that, but if we're going to do that until you're finally going to take your proper place, we need to talk about hiring some people to take care of the less than desirable jobs that happen throughout the multiverse if we're not going to take care of it.
You need some minions. And, we could split our soul. Maybe that might work out some of the bugs of a clone.
Okay, then. I'm really just feeling like you're just trying to do whatever you can to get rid of me and keep your little life of playing house.
I didn't say that. I mean, we could split them, but link them. Lord knows I already have to switch back and forth already.
We'll make this be a secondary job for the team. We'll tell them we need something for some grand cure, but I like your idea on that. So, look, I've been having the clone go out and speak to this, he just weirds me out, that mind flayer, that Illithid. He's dead, but his ghost is still around. His name is Jerry. He's assembled some interesting people. Now, granted, they're not what you would call heroes, but they're looking for redemption. And what better people to call on than those with nothing else to lose?
With everything we've done, I wouldn't call anyone a hero.
The lady she tries to hold in a laugh. Just, yes. Okay, it sounds like you're in agreement. So I'm going to send word off to the clone and to begin the preparations to begin the Walkers project. Did we ever make an agreement on what that acronym even means? Or are we just having it be a name that's just a name?
I'm sure it means something, but I'm not going to tell them.
The lady, she just looks at you with just a stunned look of just, that is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my life. You surprise me. The longer we're together, the more you surprise me every day. Are you sure you just don't want to take the job? Because you would be perfect.
Well, Sigil needs a presence there, and I understand that, but so does the cluster. I mean, there's already so much going on with both. I need ways to be present.
You know what, Lord willing. Yes. Sword comes up and smacks the lady upside the head. I didn't say God! And why am I being hit by my own things? Anyway, you are correct, and I respect what you're saying, Figs. All right. I just wanted to get your permission to have this be going because, believe it or not, I do respect your opinion. So,
thank you.
now, get back your lovely, gruesome twosome of a pair of children are apparently driving your help crazy. You do realize that one of your twins apparently is a wild mage sorceress. And the other one is apparently a super genius because he's building some kind of super weapon. You might want to stop him.
Okay, so she's gonna stand up and just shout, "Sit up!"
Now, is that your daughter or your son?
That is the son.
So
Fair pun.
Sona literally looks over, and this is listeners, I want you to understand, this is a 2-year-old toddler, yet they're in the floating contraption that Bowser used in Super Mario World? Just imagine a baby version of that with like little baby arm contraptions that help build for him. And there's just a bunch going out, and he has cute little goggles on his head. And he just does like a bunch of cooing at you, but it has a baby translator on there, so it just goes, "Oh, come on, Mom. I'm so close to harnessing the power of this nebula right now. Just a little bit more."
She's gonna just take that energy and send it back where it belongs.
So it's just, and then a wild space portal opens above him, and this horrifying eldritch abomination of a teddy bear plops in his little baby hover, and he just goes happy, and he just hugs his little abomination teddy bear. And you see the twin, the daughter, comes in. She's just sucking on her thumb, and she looks up at you. Her eyes glow in just different colors, and you can tell she's having a wild space magic surge.
Yeah, so she's gonna scoop up Bun, because, there's the Bun, and she's gonna cast counterspell on whatever's happening to try to, just get rid of it.
You see your most trusted nanny. She's just in the air going, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" As like a giant tentacle had wrapped around her, and she was just beating it with a feather duster. "Be gone, you beast!" And you cast counterspell, but she doesn't fall on her ass. She actually tucks and rolls and does a magnificent somersault through the air and just does a 10-point landing in front of you. "Ah, lassie, I'll be taking the wee one from you."
No, it's all right. I'll keep her just in case something else happens.
She flexes her right arm, and just boom! Her freaking maid outfit explodes. She goes, "Ah, I do apologize. I was getting some training in."
You needn't apologize. I'm more than happy to take care of my children as well.
Well, Sona was right behind me. He was helping to apply more weight to my weight set. Says he was adding the weight of a dying star, but then the little ones, you know how he is with his doomsday weapons.
I think it's this area. We're gonna need some thinking over it, Bastard and I.
You haven't seen the wee one's his lab he's created? He lets me in there all the time.
Oh, I've seen it. And if it's messy, there goes all the equipment.
Sona just looks over his little baby hover, and he's sucking on just this pacifier. That the technology inside of this pacifier and what it's doing would blow your mind. It literally has a pocket universe inside of it. And the people residing in that universe, they power the pacifier to cause the sucking motion themselves, but they don't realize it.
I see what you're pulling, okay.
But Sona just looks at you like, "Really, Mom? Really?"
I give that stern mom look.
He cowers. Sona just quickly ducks down, goes into his hover, and it just goes behind. So her name is Bertha. It goes behind Bertha, and Bertha goes, "Come on now, Sona." And what did you say your daughter's name was again?
Bun.
Really?
When Bun was named first, I'm like, that'd be funny. Have a matching name. Sidda, there we go.
I'm dying right now. This is so adorable. Well, she takes her, and your daughter grabs one of her just very, very thick, calloused fingers, and they go back off to the nunnery / weightlifting room. Sona sadly just looks back at his doomsday device knowing, Mom's going to destroy it. I already know she's going to destroy it. You have a moment to yourself, Figs. What would you like to do? And yes, your son's doomsday device, it clearly shows that this is a device meant to destroy a planet.
Seed, how she doesn't like that stuff. She's gonna be taking it apart and like using the pieces of like sheet metal to. I clicked off my thing there. She's shaping them into like birds and other creatures.
As you're doing this, you start to notice that it has a signature of. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing this. It says property of Professor Pacifier.
He's gonna rub that away.
Oh my god. And to your horror, you notice as you shape the to these animals that this metal was special and it was living. And so the animals you shaped have started coming to life.
I would say horror. That's like perfect.
Oh no, okay. We're going.
She was gonna have to do that herself.
You hear just an explosion coming from your son's lab. And you hear your son in the distance. No! You idiot! All of wild space just shakes. And
he's gonna portal that lab out.
Oh, one last thing that happens as this is shaking, you notice like one of your bookshelves, it starts shaking oddly, and then it flips around, and you just see this array of like super ray guns, and what is clearly this very strange, elaborate outfit that would fit Sona. And it has like the emblem on the chest, Professor Pacifier.
She like those books anyways. They're going out too.
Oh! Oh my god. You just hear the lady in the back of your head say, you do realize your son is a supervillain, right?
It's almost like he has us for a mother.
The lady whistles. She just turns and whistles. I have no idea what you're even saying.
I see the people you play.
This is the pot count. You know what? You wound me, Figs. You wound me. All right, Figs. You portal all that mess away. Sona is making sure to avoid you like just everything in his power not to be caught by his mom right now.
Oh, sorry. It's Cinna, not Sona.
Oh, Cinna, sorry. So Cinna is just trying to avoid you like the plague right now. So
yeah.
What else is Figs up to at the moment? What is going on for Figs now since it's been the past couple of years, besides trying to get the clone to be able to take the damn lady and you can enjoy your peace?
Well, being, is it Empress?
Yes, you are Empress of the cluster.
She's gotta do court though.
I was going to say, and remember, you whenever you go to the cluster, you always have a garrison of soldiers surrounding you, and it's a big deal wherever you go. So please, keep going.
Yeah, I imagine she'd do, like, herself as not being a mom, which is, like, holding court, listening to send out who needs to be sent out, gathering, like, supplies to give out to people.
Well, I will let you know this right now. The cluster has just been blown away because they've been used to more of just the Empress just being a pretty face and doing nothing. So the fact that you've been doing all this for the cluster and the people, they have, you are just on everyone's lips. That's all people have been able to talk about is just the new Empress and just how kind she is. It's like, life is great.
She'll probably like have like a sign just for Bastion, like when she's switching over to being the lady on the other side in Sigil.
Oh my!
Which is probably like migrating DC and she's always tired.
Every time you and Bastion have a spat, it's like, oh, gone. You cannot just run and be the lady, Figs. We have to talk this through.
Well, it's not like her running to. She's like sending her mind to the image of it. So like she has like a special veil, so when she switches over, like people don't notice.
That is great. So, as this is going on, because as I said, this is an epilogue, it doesn't have to just be one set time. We fast forward a few years, and we come now to when it's the twins' 16th, well, I'm going to say the twins' 18th birthday. And, oh my. So, actually, I want you to describe the daughter, Kat, because that's actually who you're going to be playing in season 2. And I'll let you know about Senna here in a minute.
So right now she probably just looks like her mom. Like she's fairly tall, like she is like elite form. She has like her hair is pretty long, but she has it like braided and wrapped around her head like a crown.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And even though she's a sorceress, she's really into archery.
oh, okay. I'm digging this. And then there's Senna. Poor Senna never grew in height. He stayed he's about as tall as a dwarf. So he's always used he's always built fancy hovers, fancy gliders. So he's never really walked on his own 2 legs. But so in all honesty, as of like right now, he just looks like a flippin' toad with a bright red mohawk in the middle of his head. And he has very elaborate tribal tattoos on the sides of his face. And he's finally finished on his Mark Hover McDoombot. It's his so-called greatest hoverer now. What it looks like is it looks like the hover from Super Mario World 2. It just looks like a clown face with a propeller on the bottom. But now the one thing you can say is your brother has never, even though he's super smart, even though for a nerd he knew one thing, he would never be bullied for being smart, so he made sure to never skip arm day, even if he skips leg day since the day of birth. So he is short and squat, but he's got just big, thick, massive boulders for arms. So now, Figs, your daughter is out there. She's just ditched her studies again. Even though it's her birthday, she's supposed to be getting ready to go head off to Strixhaven because she is a gifted sorceress. And Strixhaven really is the best place to learn magic. I mean, come on. And then there's Senna. You're getting really worried about him. You've heard some very troubling rumors about Senna.
Okay.
Namely, one that he's been making deals and providing weapons for some very shady individuals throughout the planes, throughout the multiverse. And supposedly, he might be behind an attack at Sigil. And might be the reason for the death of the original Walkers team and why they're having to get a new team together. So what were you saying, Kat?
She is maximum stressed.
You see, lady, she's not doing any I told you or anything. She's not upset with you or anything. She's just, I don't want to believe any of those rumors, Figs. Just as much as you love, I know you love your son, and throughout time, I've come to really care for that child. I don't want to see him as a monster.
I don't want to either.
But, how about this? I know we have a lot on our plate, a lot to worry about, but today is their birthday. Go ahead and just be a mother today. It's not like we could solve all those problems here in the mere seconds. They're still going to be here no matter what. So be a mother, and I will let you have your time, because this is just too much.
Thank you.
And the lady, true to her word, she leaves you to have your time. Now, I will let you know, Bastion, granted, he has been with you 100% on how been raising Sin, but when it comes to Senna, no, he's just, oh, honey, boys will be boys. It's like, well, come on, remember, my father he did have that side to him, but he'll grow out of it. He just doesn't see him for what Senna really is.
Probably also stresses her out because she does not want a repeat of what happened between their two races.
Clank, 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 clank. It's coming to the birthday celebration. I imagine your stress is even more because nothing has been amiss because Cinna hasn't been around. And it's coming to the big cake presentation moment. And your Bastian looks at you and goes, Figs, have you seen Cinna?
No, I haven't seen Bun either.
It's as if time slows down. Because as the cake's coming, everyone looks at the cake, they look at your daughter, and then in the middle of the crowd, a glowing little ball appears and then pushes everyone out, causing just a massive ripple of just blowing wind, an explosion. And standing there is, oh dear. So for me to describe these individuals, these are the people with the highest bounties and sigil, Cat. These are the worst of the worst mega criminals. Like, literally, these people would say exactly what Rick said when he got arrested. What are you in for? Everything. And they're sitting right in the middle of them, and they go, all right, new recruit, it's time for you to prove yourself. Mother, father, thank you for a most excellent 18 years of life. This is nothing personal. It's just business. And he tosses out it's a strange, like, star crystalline shape, and then that's the last time you ever see Cinna again, as Wild Space completely explodes.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna let you have the last bit, take the reins. What happens?
So Bun never really trying to learn her magic because every time she did, something went wrong, and so it actually scares her. Would try to summon it in this moment to protect everyone. And with Wild Space exploding and all that magic running rampant, things go wrong.
Oh, well, what happened? What goes wrong?
Hold, I might need to make a few rolls on the wild magic table.
Go right ahead, dude. Go away.
One thing that does is like just magic completely like just sends scars across her face, and also she started turning into an owl bear. So like her arms are like that they grow the feathers and like the massive claws of an owl bear as she was struggling to ring this in.
Oh, it's cute and horrifying at the same time. Is that it? Is that the only thing that happened, or is there more?
Hold on. Like I said, I need to roll in the wild magic table. Just give me a couple seconds.
Oh, God. So, dear listeners, I am not imposing any of this. This is... Oh. What a way to end this epilogue. This is amazing. What's going to happen in the Sears epilogue? I'm just... Wow. So, note to self, Wild Space has been blown up. I thought that was the perfect line to end on for that. It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Okay, I got it.
All right, lay it on us all.
So everything in the room, which is probably even more disorienting, gets mirror imaged. And ice swirls around everything, and as she's transforming, she gets sent to the astral plane.
Oh, you mean the astral sea?
Yes.
All right, dear listeners, and that is the epilogue of Figs.
She's screaming for her children.
Wow. Okay, so all right, everyone. That was the first one. So now we need to go to the seer.
Yang Dewey?
So the seer, I will start with you in the same way. It's been a good couple years since the defeating of Tharsnoon, the creation of Sigil, and the rule of no more gods.
Oh yes, it's been quite peaceful since then.
What has the seer been up to?
Well, raising my daughter for one. But I have a special trip I need to talk to Trillium.
You need to speak to the Holy Emperor's mother.
Yes, the very one. But I'm also going to be bringing Gary and...
Because remember, everyone still recognizes her as Bastion's mother.
That's true.
But she remembers who she is, so of course she would grant an audience to her son.
Well, I would hope so. I have a letter here that says, come and see me.
When you come in, no longer is the old guise of that child you raised when she reincarnated into. There's Trillium. There's your mother. She closes the book and she's there. You are. So how's my grandchild?
Well, she's growing taller.
I imagine she has quite the potent abilities because of her lineage. You think back right now because little Oracle can already take the form of an adult dragon.
Oh yeah, that's one of many things that she can do. It is a absolute nightmare playing hide and seek with her. She always wins. At least, that's what I let her believe.
You notice standing next to your mother is a most peculiar gentleman. And you recognize this is one of the newly Bookham species. This is literally an awakened dungeon. This is their avatar physical form that presents themselves. But you know this one. He was a literal tower that broke the skies and walked the fabled walking tower, and he became self-aware and awoken, and now he's become your mother's bodyguard. Hello, Seer.
How do you do?
You know his name is Calypso.
Lovely to see you, Calypso.
Yes. Your daughter, your mate, they have reached out to me that they wish to have me train your daughter.
Is that so?
Yes, I do find this would be most beneficial to you and your family and to her. Your daughter possesses vast potential. We do believe she could become a new form of a awakened dungeon herself and a mimic, transcending what anyone has known.
A question for Brian.
Yes.
How old is my daughter at this point of time?
Mimics age super quick. They're like rainicorns from Adventure Time. So as of right now, she's reached full maturity.
Well, to me, dearie, that's my firstborn daughter. She'll always be my little backpack.
She's adorable.
But sadly, I must agree.
Good. But I will give you your privacy with your mother. I must begin lesson preparations then. Good day, ma'am. Calypso, Sierra, and Calypso leaves. So, son, I imagine you're wondering why I sent you the letter in the beginning.
I was wondering why you ran away all those years ago.
I was frustrated.
And you couldn't have talked to me.
It was more than that. This was the realization that I failed my child, and I was to the point where my own child had to raise me.
I couldn't just let anyone else raise you. You was defenseless.
My frustration was beyond comprehension. A parent resorted having to depend on their child for life? Humiliating. I needed you to see me back to my full who I was, who I am, and who I always will be. And that is your mother.
Oh my.
Sierra, sit down and talk with me.
I'd rather stand.
Your mother gives you those eyes of just like, you're lucky you're an adult or I would tan your hide.
I said I would rather stand.
It is time for you to finally let go of this grudge you have with your father.
It wasn't just him. I spent millions of years looking for you, wondering what did wrong to make you leave not once, but twice. I did everything as a good son, and you left me twice. Not a word. The first time you got disintegrated, I understand, but twice.
And the second time, I wasn't your mother. I was a different person.
Oh, I knew that very well. Since I was the one who raised you, I was the one who fed you, and changed your clothes, and bathed you, and taught you how to read and write. I gave you everything twice. So let me ask you, how long, out of curiosity, how long has it been since you gained your memories back? Did you send me that letter?
It wasn't that long ago. When I sent the letter, that's when my memories came back.
Curious and curious. So pent up with anger and frustration, you left me before you had your memories. Why do I think you're lying?
Your mother turns to look away from you. The door opens. you feel like a magical slap hits you in the face. Like a hand just materialized and slapped you. You recognize this magic the minute it hits your face. That's the same spell he used every time you mess something up.
And who invited you, dearie?
You will not call your father dearie, boy.
You don't get the goddamn honor of being called father. Not how you treated me, and not how you treated my mother. So, dearie, when you actually own that title, I shall call you otherwise. But not until then.
Merlin he looks at you, and then he looks at the wall, extends his hand. A magic missile fires from it, destroying the wall, and goes, well, after you. The time has finally come. The only way you'll ever listen is with force, then fine. I'm going to have you finally learn, then.
You know what's funny? I've always been listening. I have always listened to you. Isn't that ironic? But if you want to fight me, fine. I'll do the one thing that I failed to do. The only thing that I failed. I'm going to kill you.
Merlin just shakes his head side to side. With a flick of his hand, he lifts you up, and he lifts up, and you two go flying into the clouds. This battle is momentous. It's titanic. Just the powers that are exhaled and blasted between the two of you. And you have your moments here. You impale your father with multiple vines. But something doesn't seem right. Something was wrong.
You're not really him, are you?
No, it's not that. You can tell the old crone was already dead. He's just been extending his life for just to be able to talk to you at this time. The black hole incident against Arsdune, it hurt a lot more than I thought. I've just been keeping my death postponed.
Wanting me to finish the final blow, do you?
I figured you deserved it.
Well, gladly. I clench my fist. My whole hand morphs into a giant bone-like knife and dagger. I run over and I swing with full force at his heart. And then the damnedest thing happened. A quick flash of the one and only time my father has ever hugged me. And my hand stops. All the memories. Why did that one appear? I pull away and I reset my body to its natural green, glorious. I guess you are right, Father. I truly am just a worthless bastard, like you always said.
Well, Merlin just looks at you. He caresses the side of your face, and he goes, nah, that was just my projections of my own failures in life. He smiles at you, and then he slowly just dissolves into ash.
Always had to have the final word, didn't you? I wet my tails, stand up, and I think I'm gonna have my conversation with my mother.
You blink back to the room. Your mother hasn't moved. And she looks and she goes, he's gone now, isn't he?
Well, very much so. And how long did you know that he was there?
The entire time.
Of course you did. Well, I've got all the answers that I finally sought for after all these years. And what will you do now that you are queen again?
I'm not a queen. I am just a proxy. I just am there for if Bastian needs advice.
I see. Well, I guess I have nothing more to say to you. You've made your choice. And I guess I'll make mine. Feel free to visit should you choose to join me in my family's lives. Or you can choose to stay here. I don't even care anymore.
And that was your father's goal, was to free you. So you would not feel burdened anymore.
You're going to have to clarify on that one. Free me from how and what?
You are shackled to your hatred. Shackled to the image of the monster that he became in the end. And the only way that would ever come to an end is if you brought it to an end with your own hands. No sweet words would ever change anything, so your father knew what needed to be done.
and yet I do not feel satisfaction nor a weight lifted from my shoulders. Though, I guess, as I was once told before, sometimes the only closure we get is no closure at all. However, this is my burden to bear. I don't blame you. I remember that you was a prisoner like I was. I just realized I sold everything, all for nothing. Ah, oh well, what cruel and ironically poetic irony. Oh well, but as I said, you are welcome to visit me and my family at any time, because you have never met Oracle, and you have never met Gary.
I plan to.
Well, send me a note in advance, and I'll make sure that your room and proper setting is prepared for you.
Of course.
Is there anything else that you would like to discuss with me before I leave?
You know, I want us to have this just be where you don't leave upset in more than you are. So no, son.
Upset. I can't really call that the correct term of how I feel. But know this. I am satisfied that I've finally got the answers that I've been seeking for millions of years.
That's more than all I could hope for, as long as you're satisfied.
I believe, for the sake of whatever this is, I don't want to pretend that our relationship is more than what it is. At least not yet.
Your mother nods.
Very sleepily, I might add.
Sorry, I was just yawning. But no, she just your mother nods at you.
Well, in that case, I think I'm going to head home to my garden.
What in the seer's going through the mind of the seer in this walk, returning home?
I have some answers, just not all of them. This is a rather bittersweet ending. But there's nothing more I can do on this. Not satisfied, but satisfied at the moment.
Well, the seer, when you go through the door, there's no one else in there, but there's a very simple hand-carved box. You recognize this box. You walk up very slowly, your hands trembling, and you open the top of the box, and then there's that song your dad would hum to you. Before all the training, before all of it, when you, your mom, and him were an actual family.
I closed the box quickly, just taking the breather.
Your dad kept it this entire time. Seems the last thing he did before coming was dropping off this box and then coming to talk to you.
Well. I'm gonna open the box again. Is there any letters in it? Or any tokens from my childhood?
Everything from your childhood. Pictures you drew him. Just, images of you. Every memento of you.
I thought he burned these.
Nope.
Well, I'm saying that to myself, dude, not to you.
No. And you see that these have all been worn from where as if someone's been holding them, clutching them to themselves.
You know, I'm going to forgive him one day. It may not be today, but this is the start.
And you see inscribed in the top of the box is, I will always be proud of you. And then written is your true name. And it says, Love, Dad.
Well, I smile. I tuck the box under my arm and I walk back home.
We're going to end this on for the seer with a series of montage images. We see the seer planning the wedding, his big wedding day with Gary. It's very big.
I was going to act that out, by the way.
You know what? We'll actually do that because we're going to have that.
Started it.
Because you know what? We'll have that be the last moment of this epilogue.
I mean, we can edit it, though.
True that. So go ahead, take it away.
Give me a second. My bestie's blowing his nose in the background. Okay, so I finally make it home, and I open up the door, and I see my lovely Gary standing there.
Now there's my love.
Hello, sweet. Please edit that hesitation out.
You don't love me!
No, I said edit that hesitation
I
out.
know, I'm just joking.
You fool. Hello, Dewey.
There's my most gorgeous wizard in all the lands.
Oh, am I playing a wizard tonight? Shall I get to talk that?
She already has a hat holding behind her back. Her butt gets a little bigger.
You know, if I keep this up, you won't be able to sit for quite a while.
And that's when you notice her hand doesn't have a wedding ring.
Of course not. I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity. Gary, my darling, before tonight's festivities.
Ooh.
I wanted to ask you something since I finally wrapped up everything that I needed to. I get down on one knee and I pulled out a homemade ring by my design. It is embedded with gold and jewels. It looks like a small green vine with little flowers that is made out of gems and diamonds.
Ooh, okay.
And Gary, you have been so patient with me these past few years, and you understood that I could not give myself to you fully until all of my business from my past was completed.
Well, of course.
My love, my darling, will you marry me so I may be yours forevermore?
She jumps into your arms,
Ah!
smothering your face in kisses.
She knocked me over.
Yes, yes, yes. She happily lets you put the ring on her finger and take us through that big day.
Of tonight's festivities? It's just a
No,
blackout.
no,
Well,
the
next week.
wedding. Yeah, the wedding.
The wedding is small but very intimate. It is her or his, whatever she decided to be that day. Of their closest friends and family. My mother's there. My half brother Bastion is there. If he chose to be.
Of course, Bastion's there.
Good. He could be
And
my
that means the
Natasha's
entire
there.
it's still the entire cluster's watching then. Just secretly hidden. There's cameras just watching.
The cake is a giant 5-tier cake with woodland themes, whatever decorations that Gary wants. They look incredible. I am wearing a emerald green tux with a pink flower tie.
She wears an emerald green dress to match, with a extremely long tail that is held by little cute little woodland critters.
Oh,
The day is yours.
Oracle's there.
Yes.
The doctor's there trying to drink my lava lamps.
Oh, he's chugging away. You notice Genova is pregnant, and there's like 4 other new kids behind him.
The stars are aligned for this. I look over to my darling now wife. How many kids are we allowed to have, dearie?
She goes, "Oh, well, let's just say I'm pregnant with triplets already. I was hoping to have for us to have as many as you want."
We can start with a happy 12.
And that's
Just be gentle.
and as you two wrap, embrace, and kiss, that's where we'll end the Doctor's epilogue. And that, dear listeners, is just
Doctor.
2 pieces of the stories from Romance of the Ship Kingdoms.
Lord Nibbles, get down from there.
There will be more stories to come when we come into season 2.
Real fast,
We'll-
Lord Nibbles just ate half my cake.
Oh, Lord Nibbles ran away with that cake.
Get back here!
And then all of a sudden you see BB blinking into existence next to him. They both do a loving nuzzle next to each other, and this is when you notice like little baby Blink bulldogs, half space hamsters running behind them.
I knew it, and I shipped it, and now it is.
They happily nuzzle,
Oh God,
and
they're brainy.
and then the happy family blink away with your cake.
Good thing I have a backup.
And then that's what we'll end this epilogue on. Till then, everyone, goodbye.